Classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Douro region is one of the most beautiful corners of Portugal. Traveling through the Douro Railway Line is one of the best ways to visit this region and enjoy the beautiful landscape. Most of the paths of this railway line follows the margins of River Douro, this being the largest part of the railway that is surrounded by water in Portugal. Built in the late 19th century, this railway line had great social and economic influence as it became an alternate form of transportation for people and agricultural products, particularly Douro's wine, connecting the northern regions of Alto Douro and Trás-os-Montes to the coastline. The modernization of the Douro Railway Line, which is integrated in the investment program Ferrovia 2020, comprises an extension of 58 kilometers between the villages of Caíde and Régua. This intervention is characterized by the conclusion of electrification, installation of electronic signals and railway telecommunications, comprehensive railway renovation, reinforcement of tunnels, and increase of passenger platforms in order to make it possible to extend the electrically operated suburban railway services. 4 major goals are achieved with this structuring investment. Ensuring an electric traction up to the Peso da Régua train station, thus promoting regional rail services between Oporto, Marco and Régua. Extending the urban rail services to Marco de Canaveses and creating an intercity rail service to Régua, ensuring better quality and safer railway services at the disposal of the population served by the Douro Railway Line. This investment reinforces the role of public transport by rail, namely because of the increase of the efficiency and competitiveness of urban services, which benefits more than 900,000 passengers directly. The electrification and full track renovation of the Caíde Marco section, with an extension of 14.2 kilometers, is a good example of the benefit to passengers and the environment. These works will allow urban railway services between Oporto and Marco de Canaveses with no interchange and in trains with electric traction. We have completely renovated the whole track superstructure, rails and ties, train stations and platforms, and pedestrian and level crossings. During the development of the electrification works, we have installed more than 160 poles sustaining an overhead line for 22 kilometers. Long-distance monitoring and control allow for voltage signals and sectioning of the overhead line. For the Livração train station, we extended and reorganized the platforms and accesses in order to enable more intuitive and safer passenger circulation, namely people with reduced mobility. We had identical concerns with the Oliveira and Raciocínios train station platforms. We still optimized the layout of the Marco de Canaveses train station for trains that run on electricity. The tunnels were adapted in order to enable electrification by lowering the tracks and reinforcing the support structure so as to increase safety. We have also implemented new drainage solutions. With an investment of 10.5 million euros, having involved 585 workers and 70 different companies, we can now say that the electrification of the Caíde Marco section is a reality. Modernizing the Douro line is a very big step in developing social and territorial cohesion with more competitive rail transport services, essential for promoting sustainable mobility with compelling environmental advantages. Ferrovia 2020, connecting Portugal into Europe.